Welcome, everyone. Let's dive into something a bit different today. The undrafted free agents who have joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've talked plenty about the draft class, but it's time to switch gears and discuss the lesser-known names fighting for a spot on the roster. This isn't just any breakdown. This is a fresh perspective, something you haven't heard before. Why UDFAs matter. While the draft often grabs the headlines, undrafted free agents can quietly make their mark in the NFL. The Bucs' UDFA class this year is particularly intriguing, a mix of raw talent and potential that makes you wonder who might surprise us. Sure, many won't make the final 53-man roster, but there's always a chance for a few to stick around on the practice squad, or even find a role on the team, just like Christian Ezien, Kayvon Merriweather, Sean Tucker, and Cameron Johnson did in recent years. A diverse group. Initially, the Buccaneers signed 15 undrafted free agents right after the draft. Then they added 2 more, bringing the total to 17. It's a diverse group, but we're focusing on those who fill positions of need, like linebacker and safety. After all, the team didn't draft a safety, and linebacker depth remains a question mark. The idea of moving Tyke Smith to safety could work, but the depth chart still feels a bit thin. Headliners of the Class 1 of the most talked-about signings is Ben Chukwuma, an offensive tackle from Georgia State. The Bucs made a statement by making him the highest-paid undrafted free agent in the entire NFL. Chukwuma is raw. He only started playing football in 2017 and didn't take the field for Georgia State until 2023. Despite limited experience, his size, 6 feet 6 inches, 310 pounds, and athleticism caught the Bucs' attention. Then there's Desmond Watson, a massive nose tackle from Florida, tipping the scales at over 400 pounds. He's been a hot topic in the national media, and it's not hard to see why. And of course, Shiloh Sanders, a name already familiar to many, joins the group. Potential and uncertainty. It's clear the Buccaneers are intrigued by the potential in this UDFA class. While most won't make the roster, the sheer uniqueness of this group makes it worth watching. Whether it's Chukwuma developing into a reliable lineman or one of the other players carving out a role, it's an unpredictable yet exciting narrative. Stay tuned as we break down the most promising names and analyze their chances to stick around in Tampa Bay. One thing the Buccaneers know all too well is the importance of depth, especially on the offensive line. Last year, when Luke Goedeke went down with a concussion, Justin Skule had to step in. It was rough at first, but credit where it's due, he improved as the season progressed. Now, with Skule no longer on the roster and a new backup tackle in place, the Bucs are clearly focused on securing that depth again. Making Ben Chukwuma the highest-paid undrafted free agent practically guarantees him a spot on the practice squad, if nothing else. Linebacker reinforcements. After addressing the offensive line depth, the focus shifts to linebacker. One of the Bucs' most pressing needs after the draft. Among the initial 15 UDFAs, John Bullock stands out. The linebacker from Nebraska earned respectable grades, a solid 72.6 overall. His coverage skills are decent, his pass rush ability when blitzing is impressive, and his run defense is serviceable. At 6 feet and 230 pounds, Bullock brings versatility, having moved from defensive back to linebacker during his college career. His 2024 season was impressive. Honorable mention All Big Ten, starting all 13 games and racking up career highs in tackles, 70, sacks, 4, tackles for loss, 10, 5 pass breakups, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles. Given the Bucs' current linebacker situation, with names like Levante David, Servazio Dennis, and Anthony Walker Jr. leading the group, there's a real opportunity for Bullock to either make the final roster or secure a practice squad spot. Enter Nick Jackson. Joining Bullock in the linebacker battle is Nick Jackson, another Big Ten product. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches and 235 pounds, Jackson has a wealth of experience, playing 4 seasons at Virginia before transferring to Iowa, totaling an impressive 73 games. His stat line speaks volumes: 555 tackles, 17 sacks, 33 tackles for loss, 1 interception, 19 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. While Jackson's grades might not quite match Bullock's, his extensive playing time and consistency could give him an edge. Right now, it's too early to make definitive calls. Bullock appears to have the better athletic profile, while Jackson offers experience and durability. Training camp and preseason will be crucial in determining who wins the battle for a linebacker spot, but both players have a legitimate shot given the Bucs' linebacker depth concerns. There's genuine excitement around seeing how John Bullock and Nick Jackson push each other during training camp. Competition breeds improvement, and the Bucs could use it at linebacker, given the current depth concerns. Who knows? Maybe both make the roster. It's not out of the question given the lack of certainty behind the starters. Addressing the safety dilemma. Next up, let's shift to another position that needs some attention: safety. Enter Shiloh Sanders. You've probably heard the buzz, some good, some bad. The reality is, the Bucs didn't originally see him as a draftable player. In fact, Shiloh's agent had to make the call, asking GM Jason Licht to give the young safety a shot. To his credit, Licht agreed. So, here we are, with Sanders vying for a role in Tampa Bay's secondary. It's worth mentioning that the criticism Sanders is facing doesn't quite add up. Is he hyped more than his performance warrants? Maybe. But that's not his fault. He didn't choose to be Deion Sanders' son, or to be constantly under the media's spotlight because of it. He's handled the pressure with class, introducing himself to every reporter at his first press conference, shaking hands and showing respect. That kind of character is something you can't teach, and it's a positive sign for a young player entering the NFL. Evaluating Sanders' potential. As a player, Sanders isn't just riding on his family name. His college journey took him from South Carolina to Jackson State, and finally to Colorado, playing under his father, Deion, and alongside his brother, Shedeur. Across those 3 programs, he logged 54 games, including 36 starts, and accumulated 229 tackles, 6 interceptions, 1 returned for a touchdown, and consistent playing time, particularly in the SEC, where the competition is fierce. While his Pro Football Focus grades are modest, a 68 overall with a solid coverage grade just over 70, it's the intangibles and his relentless drive that make him intriguing. This isn't just a guy filling a roster spot. This is someone with the potential to surprise, especially if he shows out in training camp. The Bucs need depth at safety, and if Sanders can step up, it might turn into a smart, low-risk investment. At the end of the day, Sanders is just an undrafted free agent looking for a shot. If he makes the practice squad or even the roster, it's a win for the Bucs. Either way, rooting for a player who carries himself with humility and a willingness to work should be easy for any fan. When it comes to undrafted free agents, the Buccaneers have a pretty straightforward approach. Give them a shot, see what sticks, and move on if it doesn't work out. That's exactly the mindset they have with Shiloh Sanders. If he thrives in training camp and secures a practice squad spot, great. If not, no big deal. It's low risk, high reward. But now, let's talk about the undrafted free agent who truly stands out in this class, J.J. Roberts. This guy should have been drafted, plain and simple. Somehow, he slipped through the cracks, and the Bucs landed a player who could genuinely make an impact. Roberts played at Marshall and previously at Wake Forest, where he proved himself against strong competition. His defensive grades are off the charts. A 91 overall, a 93.5 in pass rush, a 90 in coverage, and nearly an 80 in run defense. The versatility is there too, mostly playing as a free safety, but showing his ability to play in the box when needed. At 5'11" and 192 pounds, Roberts brings both size and experience. During his college career, Roberts played in 55 games, making 28 starts, and racked up 213 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 28 passes defended, and 5 forced fumbles. He earned first-team All-Sun Belt Conference honors last season and led the conference with 14 passes defended while starting all 13 games. That's impressive production, and it's why he's easily the most exciting undrafted player in this class. The enigma of Desmond Watson. Of course, we can't ignore the buzz around Desmond Watson. At 6 feet 6 inches, 464 pounds, he's an absolute mountain of a man. He played every game for the Gators from 2021 to 2024, becoming a starter as a sophomore. Watson's role is pretty clear. He's not a pass rusher, but a run-stopping force in the middle. He notched 63 tackles over his college career, including 20 last season, and at Florida's Pro Day, he put up 36 reps on the bench, the most of any prospect at the Combine. It's easy to see why fans are fascinated by Watson. Imagining him alongside Vita Vea is like picturing an immovable wall on the defensive front. If nothing else, just seeing those two on the field together would be worth it. Whether Watson makes the team or not, the idea of deploying him against those power run formations, especially the infamous tush push, is undeniably intriguing.